Hi class. Today I want to very quickly show you how to do the formatting for the very first paper we're going to do, which is a critical analysis of two articles. One is an article, one is a TED Talk about drug addiction, and I wanted to show you what the formatting should look like. Generally for my face-to-face students, this is something we do in class together so that I can monitor it, but because we are online, I wanted to sort of give you a walkthrough to show you how I would do the title page, the middle sections, and sort of template setup, and how to do the reference page. And hopefully I can do that under 15 minutes. So the very first thing I always tell students is the title page. So the title page needs to have specific information, but the very first thing is it needs to have page numbers. So the nice thing with the changes is that we don't have to do page headers, we don't have to do running headers anymore. We just basically have to have page numbers. And I think the easiest way is at the very top, we just click insert. If you look at the top, you'll see where it says page numbers. We're going to click insert page number, top of the page, and click to where it says to the right. And the nice thing with this is that's it, we are done. So click close header or footer. From here, we're going to hit double space. We make sure we have that, 1, 2. And we're going to tab it down 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. After the 4th space, we're going to tab it one more time, and we're going to come up with a title. And the title needs to be in bold, and it needs to be centered. For me, I'm just going to be nice and plain here. I'm going to use the word critical analysis essay, and I'm just going to be very straightforward with my title and just call it drug addiction. Now, you may certainly do whatever you want to. I do ask you, and I always remind students, to never use the title of the article that you are actually using because, well, you didn't write that article. So always come up with your own title. Make sure I can spell addiction correctly here. All right, so from here, I'm just going to have critical analysis essay. I think that's plain. I'm going to give the reader a little bit of a clue that it's about drug addiction, and I think I'm good right there. So I'm going to hit enter, but we need to have an extra space between the title and the rest of the information, so I'm going to hit enter one more time. I'm going to take the bold off, and I'm going to type my name. I'm just going to say Michael Blaine, and then I need to have the title of the college, Delaware Technical Community College. Let's see, I need to have, and sort of adjusting on what you can put here, but always have the class name. So I'm going to put ENG 102. We're going to then put your favorite teacher, who is Mr. Blaine. I love him too. And then you want to put today's date. One thing I always tell students is always write the date out. So it looks like that. And sometimes your computer will put a TH, like 27th or 1st. Take that off. No TH, no ST, no RD. We just want to write the numbers right there. So we're done basically with that, and that's sort of what it should look like. Now, here's something I like to share with students. So anytime you want a page to be separate and not to move forward or backwards, I want you to go up to where it says insert, and this is very cool. I think you'll like this. And I want you to insert a page break. Boom. And what that's going to do is that's going to separate, no matter what you add or subtract to your paper, it will always leave that first page by itself. And I dig that. I think it's very cool. I think that you will like that as well. All right, so page 2. We're going to just do the template here. I'm not going to write this paper out for you, but we are going to do the template. So the template needs to be the title, so I'm going to repeat my title, Critical Analysis Essay, Drug Addiction. I'm going to have that bold, boom, and that's the new format. It needs to be in bold, so we're going to bold that so it looks nice and neat. And then I'm going to hit enter, and here's something very important. So after I hit enter, I'm going to go ahead and change back up to where it says home. I'm going to move the cursor back over to the left. I need to left justify it again just to make sure that I'm not centering the whole paper. And sometimes students do that. They forget that they've done that. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and write the first sentence just to give you an idea. I'm going to tab it to get it going, and I'm going to put in the, whoops, and there we go. What did I forget to do? I forgot to take off the bold. In the 2019 The Atlantic article, let's see, physicians get, capitalize all the big words, addicted to, and we'll put a comma there. His name is Sam Quinones, informs, and then from here, I'm going to need to write, I'm going to identify the audience, I'm going to identify, and then what the main idea is about. And I'm not going to do that for you because I want you to do that. Now, the reason why I do this is because I want to immediately let the reader know that I'm doing a critical analysis, and I'm probably going to focus mostly on Physicians Get Addicted. I'm going to include the year that it was published. I'm going to put the title of the journal in italics, and then I'm going to capitalize all the main words in the title and put it in quotes. So that's there right there, and I like that. So that needs to be my introduction. I'd add a couple things to it. Remember you're going to end with a thesis statement that basically states whether you thought that the article was effective or not effective. You also need to include the information about the TED Talk itself, and you can look at that. So what I want to do now is basically set up what the sections are going to be. So your next section is going to be about author credibility. So I'm going to write author credibility, and then I'm going to tab, and then I'm going to type, here is where this starts. Now, 1, 2, 3. I need to make sure that these guys right here, which are the section headers, that they are centered, and I'm done with that. So I'm going to do the next one. And again, if you looked at your planner, these are set out for you. The next one is evidence, and I believe the next one after that is going to be language, and then the next one after that is going to be yes, conclusion. So I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to center these guys. I'm going to fold them. I'm going to give myself a space after each one, space. And do remember that you do not have a title, you do not have a header for introduction, because that first paragraph is always first, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do need to make sure you have your title, and then the actual headers for what each section is going to be about, and you absolutely do one for the conclusion, because you need to let the reader know that you are ending, and that helps the reader get ready for that. So here I did it again, didn't I? Take the bold off. Here is where this section starts. All right, see what I'm doing here? And what I'm doing is I'm setting up a template. So all I need to do then is to go back and fill in. Here is where this starts. 1, 2, 3. And then for the conclusion, boom. Bring it over. Look, I'm going to remember to do the bold this time. Here is where this starts. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that's my paper right there, and it could be 3 pages, 2 pages, 4 pages. It's not going to be terribly long, but it can be more than 1 page. So I want to make sure that whatever I add or subtract always stays there. I don't want it to move anything else. So remember what I told you. Anytime you feel like you have a section that you want to be left alone, you're going to insert, and you're going to hit page break. And then no matter what I do, add or subtract to that middle part, it will always be by itself, and I like that. So the last thing I want to show you is, and I want to do it for you so you can see what it's going to look like, is we need to do the reference page. And that's the nice thing about doing page break, because no matter what, this reference page is always going to be at the end. I don't know if you remember in 101, if you ever submitted to a teacher and the teacher's like, oh, this one's, your reference page is in the wrong spot. And you're like, well, it was right when I sent it. Well, page break will help fix that so it doesn't change. So we know that the word references needs to be at the top of our reference page. We also remember that it needs to be bold, and if you remember, get home up here, it needs to be, there we go, it needs to be centered. Yeah. Now, from here I'm going to hit enter. Now watch what I do. I need to make sure I bring it back over to the left, and they need to be what are called, if you remember for 101, hanging indents. I'm not trying to be lazy here, but I'm going to make the computer do it. So I hit paragraph, that little tab coming down, and I'm going to hit special, hanging, okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to automatically do this for me. So I'm going to go ahead and look over here. I've got the article next to me here. The reference, if you remember, last name goes first, and look, I did that bold again, didn't I? That's why we always have to recheck and make sure that we have reset things. So I know that the author's name is Quinones S. Love that. You know that you do the last name and then just the initial of the first name. We have a full date here, but we always do the year first. Always do the year first. And then whatever we have left. In this situation, it's May. Awesome. Put a period right there to let the reader know that is done. The title of this was Physicians Get Addicted To. Now remember, I'm going to put a period there to end it. That for a reference, The title of the article, you only capitalize the first word, unless you have some names in there or proper nouns, but generally you just capitalize the first word. So I'm done with that one. I also need to have the title of the publication it came from. In this situation is the Atlantic. And I'm going to put a period there because basically I don't have a volume, I don't have an issue, and I don't have a page number because I believe what I gave you was a PDF link. And did I spell Atlantic right? Atlantic. There we go. Now we're right. Now, because I don't have volume, because I don't have issue, because I don't have to worry about the page numbers because there really weren't any, I'm going to end it with the actual website, and I do have that. And generally, the rule of thumb, if you remember from last year, is if you, or your last class, sorry, if you have the website, you want to incorporate the website. If you don't, or if you got it from say EBSCOhost or a search engine, or like say Google, then we don't put google.com. We try to do the best we can. So in this situation, it's going to be www.theatlantic.com/magazine. By the way, if you were more on your game, you would just cut and paste this, and that's absolutely appropriate. Archive, and it's going to be 2019/05/opioid epidemic West Virginia Dr. /586036. Yeah, like it. And I'm going to hit enter, and it should automatically come up. And notice that it automatically did the hanging indent for me. Look at that. Beautiful. That's gorgeous right there. All right, I need to do the second one. The second one is video. So remember to use your APA guide for how to do these specific things. So videos are very different. They look a little different. So, but they're a little bit easier, maybe. I'm not sure. So in this situation, we actually have an author. The author's name is Tyndall M. So we're done right there. We do have a date when this was first done. It was 2017. And again, when you go to the YouTube, you'll see that. And November is when that actually was first recorded. Now, because this is a video, I'm going to actually, and you're going to say, really, Mr. Blaine? Yes. So for videos, the actual title is in italics. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The Harm Reduction Model of Drug Addiction Treatment. And I'm going to go ahead and tell the reader right now that this was a video. And that's how I do that. And then I'm going to end that with a period. And as I told you, I'm going to make this look extra cool. But this is an APA rule, not a cool rule. That I'm going to put that in italics. I need to make sure I do that. Now, I'm going to take it off of italics. And I need to write the title of the source, the web source. And in this situation, it was TED-Med. I'm going to put a period right there. Now, from here, I'm going to actually type the entire HTTPS ://, and then it is www.ted.com talks, and then it's going to be Mark_Tyndall, and then a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm not going to write all of that out because I would want you to cut and paste it. But notice that it automatically made it a link, and notice that it automatically did the hanging indent. And the idea with the hanging indent is that it makes the first line stick out, but really what it's doing is it's tabbing the second line. So when you do your citations, and remember your citations would be Quinones 2019. That's how you would do for paraphrasing for Quinones. Look at that. That's cool, right? And then the paraphrasing for Tyndall, because we have names. I made it nice and easy for you. 2017. That's the citation for Tyndall. So anytime you pull things directly from that, that is what you use. All right. So there are your citations. That's your reference right there. I use page break to separate these things. These are the sections that I'm going to be talking about. This is what the page, the title page looks like. And if you follow this video right here and you follow along right there, you can in fact use this template. I will let you know that you can certainly pull up the sample papers, and then type over it. That will give you the format as well, but please make sure you check out the reference. Other than this thing being too short, that is what it's going to look like, and that is the format that it should look like. Okay? I hope that's helped. That's all I have for this one. Later on, I'm going to tell you about how to do the APA skills assessment. But I hope that helps. If you have any questions, certainly email me. Thank you. Bye.